very close second in lots of Conservative constituencies in the South East and the South West.
Olivia,
I think those Conservative MPs are less worried.
Let me interrupt you in favour of our next king. That is, of course, the Prince of Wales, Prince William, who is pictured live in southwest London and promoting a cause close to his heart, which is homelessness. He's visiting the Saatchi Gallery, which is an art gallery in central London, to view a show called Homelessness Reframed, a groundbreaking exhibition which brings to life the breadth and complexities of homelessness in this country.
And we can see him. No, we've already seen him, right? OK, so we're not seeing him anymore. And obviously, he's on his own.
It's a worthy cause.
It is a very worthy cause, and lots of people were hoping and speculating around on today that Catherine might be joining him.
Yeah.
Because it's a cause very close to her heart as well. But,
well, of course.
Sadly, not as the case.
Prior to her cancer diagnosis, we were told that we wouldn't see her until after Easter, and it's now September, and we do, of course, wish her well. Hope. And now the Prince of Wales has arrived at the Saatchi Gallery in London for an exhibition showcasing the art of former rough sleepers.
William will meet the artists and contributors during his visit. It follows his face-to-face meeting with Prince Harry at their uncle's funeral last week. But can the feuding royal brothers bury their hatchet?
It's a very good question. Well, listen, he's currently online trying to get tickets for Oasis, but let's interrupt him because royal correspondent and writer Michael Cole joins us now. Michael, good to see you. And homelessness, a cause close to the heart of the Prince of Wales.
Good afternoon, Mark. Good afternoon, Dawn. You're absolutely right. He was only 11 years old 31 years ago when Princess Diana took him and his brother to visit homeless people in London. She wanted to get them out of the privileged bubble they were living in to make sure they knew what was going on in the outside world. But it became a lifelong cause for Prince William. And last year, he and his wife, the Princess of Wales, through their Royal Foundation, set up Homewards, which is a 5-year programme in 6 cities around the United Kingdom to try and bring people together, NGOs and local authorities and like-minded charitable people, to try and prevent this happening, so that if homelessness happens, it's very rare and it's very brief. He's very sincerely committed to this, and I think he's having some success, and he's reaching out abroad to other people who are confronting this problem. And I think hats off to him, because it needs to be done. And it is something which can be prevented if enough goodwill and resources and human intellect are brought to bear on the problem.
Michael, am I right in thinking that it wasn't that long ago that William declared that he wanted to end homelessness completely? I mean, how's that going for him?
Well, that is entirely it. This is this Homewards element of the Royal Foundation, which was set up in June last year with the Princess of Wales. He believes, and I think you can't really be contradicted, if there's enough goodwill to solve this problem. Of course, 1 or 2 people prefer to have that sort of life. They prefer to be vagrants. And there may be very many problems that cause them to be in that mind. But for people who are homeless without cause, without reason for themselves, it is possible to solve it. And that's what he believes. And these 6 centres around the country, he's trying to bring people together sincerely in order to solve this. It is a scourge. It's terrible to see. We see it around the streets. One wishes one could help, but he's trying to do something. Of course, when you're a member of the royal family, you're not supposed to indulge in politics. But every question, of course, is political at the end until it becomes something to do with God. You know, it's a problem that he wants to get on top of, and I think congratulations to him.
Michael, what's the latest on the Prince of Wales' relationship with his brother, the Duke of Sussex? Is there any long-term hope that the boys can bury the royal hatchet?
Long-term, very, very long-term. An ice cap has formed over their relationship, and I can't see it melting for a very long time indeed. Last week they were together for the first time in the same building for more than a year since the coronation at Snettisham in North Norfolk for a memorial service for their uncle, Lord Robert Fellows. but Prince William certainly didn't look at his brother. He didn't speak to his brother. They arrived separately, discreetly, and they left separately without a word. And Prince Harry, instead of going to Anmer Hall, where the Waleses live, about 10 miles away, he went to stay with his uncle, Charles Spencer, the Earl Spencer, at Althorp. And then, of course, while he was there, the anniversary of his mother's death in 1997 came around, and he paid tribute at her grave. It was an extraordinary visit because nobody knew he was coming, and suddenly he was there, having swapped teeming Los Angeles for sleepy North Norfolk. And I'm quite sure that Norfolk in high summer is very beautiful, and I'm sure he has many friends and connections around there. I'm sure he must have been nostalgic for the life that he's left behind and the people he's left behind. But with regarding reconciliation, there are two chances of that, slim and none.
Michael, just very quickly, the more virtuous projects like the ending homelessness that William seems to get in, the more Harry feels like he has to do something to distract, like coming up with, well, I'm owed an apology from my brother and my father. Is that the right understanding of what's happening here?
Family feuds are awful by definition. One in the royal family is even worse. The thing is, Dawn, that if you're a member of the royal family, you simply are. You don't have to do anything, you are. If you're a semi-detached member of the royal family living on a hilltop in California, you have to be. You have to be doing something, you have to be going somewhere, you have to be JOE, justification of existence. Trips to Nigeria, trips to Colombia, forever on the back foot trying to demonstrate that you're relevant. Which is not applied to members of the royal family. They know what their job is. I must just say, though, when Prince Harry was here, he was the happy prince. We remember him joking on the running track with Usain Bolt. He was always smiling. Well, you don't really see him smiling very much these days.
No,
which is a great shame.
Absolutely. Michael Cole, I gave up trying to justify my existence, JOE, many years ago. Ask Mrs. Dolan. Ask Dawn. Michael, great to see you again. We'll catch up soon. Former top royal correspondent at the BBC, Michael Cole. Look, let's get to a more serious matter, and it's our dirty waterways. Dawn.
Yes, indeed, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I just cannot understand, right, OK, you're allowed to put a little bit of sewage into the waterway if it rains heavily. I mean, how is that even a thing for a start?
Indeed, yeah. It's years and years of underinvestment, isn't it? Well, water firm bosses could face up to 2 years behind bars for covering up sewage dumping. The new laws proposed by the government will give more powers to regulators to tackle pollution and make it easier for companies to be fined.
Water company executives have previously only faced the threat of fines for obstructing investigations about sewage spills. But is being sent to prison really the answer to protecting the environment? GBNews political correspondent Catherine Forster joins us now to explain exactly what this potential new legislation means.
Yes, good afternoon from a very windy Putney, where the Environment Secretary, Steve Reed, was giving a speech at a rowing club just along to my right a little bit earlier. Let's start by taking a look at what he had to say.
Instead of protecting our waterways, water companies were allowed to pay out multi-million-pound bonuses and billions in dividends, and the Conservative government was too weak to stop them. The result? This year's annual boat race here in Putney was overshadowed by health warnings telling rowers not to enter the water due to high levels of sewage. We've inherited a broken water system that affects us all, from the health and happiness of communities to the quality and resilience of our food system and the natural environment. These are systemic issues that require a proper reset with a reformed water sector.
In that speech, he also described the water sector as being associated with decline and cover-ups, and there's a huge amount of public anger, isn't there? It helped the Liberal Democrats get to, 70-odd seats in Parliament. So this government is promising to get tough with water companies and water bosses, potential prison sentences of up to 2 years for water bosses, bans on bonuses if they've been polluting, and also looking ahead, saying there's going to be water shortages. Now, they're saying they're going to force private companies to give huge amounts in investment to build new reservoirs, etc. One thing that I thought was interesting was Steve Reid did mention the possibility of nationalisation, and he said about that it would cost billions and take years. I am more interested in a model that works. In a lobby briefing with journalists afterwards, we asked him specifically if he would rule out renationalisation, and he said yes. So they're saying they're going to get tough. How quickly things will change, well, time will tell.
Catherine Forster, brilliant stuff, our GBNews political correspondent there.